But the real professional, you just do it once. I'm going to put a bit of extra oil on that now. He's finished from yesterday. But he dried up a lot, so I'll put another coat of oil on him. Usually only one coat is enough, but that's a big bit and it soaked up a lot of the oil. So one more dose of hot oil and straighten him out. This is the next bit now. You don't see people working at crafts or anything anymore. And if they are, a lot of them don't like people looking at them. And they do it, like artists and potters will be doing it quietly in a back room or something. But so, life is changing so quickly now that it catches people completely on the hop. I have no intention of keeping up with it, and I'm just doing my own thing. And as I said, I've got customers. I don't have to worry about keeping up with the Joneses or anything. I had no interest. You couldn't do it anyway. If you tried to, you'd be constantly running after your tail. No, I don't do that at all. I stick to my own time scale, which doesn't exist. Somebody said, "Do you ever tidy up this place?" It is tidy. When I was a young fella, and I mean a really young fella, when I was a baby child, my mother sent me to school very young. And in those days, there was no creches or kindergarten or anything like that. The holy nuns took you in at maybe 3 into low babies. And then there's low babies, and then there's high babies, and then there's first class. And you'd be 5 by the time you're into first class. I was always 6 months or a year younger than everybody else. But Mother Mary of the Fallen Archers anyway let us play with Morla and plasticine. And then when you're in high babies, she tells you it's time to be doing your exercise now and learning how to count and so on. So I didn't bother. I was still making plasticine. I could do John Wayne, Sligo Rovers football team, Lions, Tigers, anything. I didn't need toys. A couple of pounds of plasticine was enough. I could make Finn McCool or whatever I wanted. And but then when I started as a butcher, when I left school, butchers are always cutting their fingers. Now, minor cuts, I've all 10 of my digits left, but minor cuts, you'd have a little nick there, you'd have a plaster there, you'd have a scar here, and all of those would stop you from making good plasticine figures, because my stuff was very detailed, and small actually too. And then I just got fed up not being able to make things, so I started working with whatever material I had, which was wood. And another fella who'd be more gregarious or sociable, I suppose, would be giving them away to his friends. But none of my friends were slightly anyway interested. They thought I was an idiot. So they piled up in the house, and I brought them in here to the butcher shop, and they started to sell immediately. One day I just said, that's it. Not selling any more meat. End of story. Bye-bye. Done. And all of a sudden it was done. But it had been in the air for ages, Oh, yeah. I have my regular.
These regular customers, regular people. That gives them a boost. Michael is the worker, I'm the talker. Michael gets a lot of characters like me into the talk.
No stopping. It's always gas. I get all sorts in here, you see.
You should sing a little song, Michael, before.
I had this lovely big white dog in with me. He looked now from a distance like an Alsatian, but he's not. He's up close, you see his head is different and his ears are all different. He's a husky,
A husky mix.
Husky breed, yeah. He's mongrel, but he's mostly husky. And he doesn't bark or growl, he howls. I gave him a little bicky here and he went, woo, woo, looking for more.
No.
I'm a sucker for dogs.
Now, can I sing a song, Michael? I'll sing a little song. I met my love by the factory wall, dream of the old canal. I kiss my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. Dream of the old canal. Dream of the old canal. I kiss my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, this dirty old town.
That's a great song. The best thing about it is that it's short.
No, Mikey, I think that's the first time you heard me singing, Mike.
I love when you sing so low. And if you sang so low that I couldn't hear it, it's even better.
No, I will move on.
Tell you what's wrong. People don't listen. It's great to have conversations, but people should listen as well as talk.
Yeah.
That's what makes our conversation so good.
Yeah,
we listen to each other.
Yeah, that's myself and Mikey get on good together. Here, have a nice day.
See you again. See you again, Eric.
It's nice talking to you.
Charlie Haughey was Minister for Finance back in the early 70s, and he brought in this ministerial order that artists would be tax-free, which was an absolutely marvellous stroke of genius because they weren't paying their taxes anyway. and there wouldn't be, most of them wouldn't be doing enough work to oh sorry, how are you?
Hello.
Oh, Eric was in here a few minutes. That's Martin, he's Eric's brother.
Where is he?
I don't know, he did he go that way or this way?
I think he went this way.
That way, up there.
Documentary report.
That's only about
I'm
10
in
minutes.
College.
Michael Quirke, hard
yeah.
work, making idols every day.
Yeah.
But I'm never idle.
Huh?
I'm never idle.
I know.
I'm making idols, but I'm never idle.
I know. Acting busy, acting cool, very busy with your working too.
Yeah.
By the way, Michael Quirke, you don't believe in St. Patrick.
What do you mean I don't believe in St.
You
Patrick?
what? You don't
I
believe
don't
in
believe
it?
that he ever existed.
Something
or
like
he
that.
was a saint. Of course he existed.
But he wasn't a saint in your point of view.
Well, I mean, what is a saint?
A saint is someone who who works miracles, prays to God,
They're making a saint
and lives a
out of-
holy life.
They're making a saint out of
Sister-
out of,
Saint Teresa.
Or
What?
Sister Teresa,
Wasn't she a holy woman?
the Albanian croon.
Oh no, don't be disrespectful.
My
But
bad.
again, from a biblical point of view, a saint, a Christian and a believer is all in the same.
Irish.
They are, seriously. The Protestants say that if you're a Christian and a saint and a believer, you're the same. The Catholic Church say you have to be a special person to be a saint. The Protestants say a saint
Well,
and a
listen
Christian
here,
is the same thing.
Listen here now, Martin.
No,
Listen here
Listen,
now, Martin.
let's expect this. We have this every day.
Let's be practical about
What's
this.
that? What?
What's the point of a saint? If you're in heaven, you don't need people down here to say, "Oh, I know you're in heaven, Mrs. What's it." What's the point of a saint?
Well, a saint is someone who's getting there, who's
What's
got
the
there,
point?
who's on his way
What's
there.
the point? If
What do
you
you
get
mean?
to, if and when you get to heaven,
Yes.
who's going to give a hump and hoot except you? So I mean, what's the point of us deciding that you're a saint? So my point is, what is the point?
Of course, there's a point to it.
What is the point?
It's
You
up-
might tell
well-
me what the point is.
Well, you see, without
Or
saints,
Strand Hill, yeah.
without saints, you see, that's how the church makes their money.
How?
Well, novenas to Saint Martin, indulgences and all that sort of stuff.
So there we are now. That's the whole point of
But
saint.
you don't believe,
It
Michael.
has not,
But you don't believe.
what do you mean I don't believe?
You're an unbeliever.
But there must be lots of things you don't believe
What?
too.
What?
Do you
Oh, sorry.
Do you believe everything you're told? I don't believe in retiring. No, I don't. Maybe if you were working at something that you didn't like or you were something respectable, then you could retire and do something else. But I can work away here all day. I'm 76. I can work away here all day. Never get tired. If you were to ask me to pull up a few dandelions, I'd be exhausted after 10 minutes. Now I had a girl in. She was doing an article on me, and she said, "Oh, now Michael, when will you retire?" And I had this look. I said, "You'll come in someday, and I'll be like that, and that'll be me retired." No, that'll be the end of it, and I don't give a shit. Because when I'm dead, I don't care what happens, because I will be dead. And anybody that wants to pass on something to posterity and all that, they're dreaming. Because once you're dead, you're dead. End of story. So do it while you're here. Do whatever you have to do now, and don't be expecting people to carry on your life's work or anything, because it doesn't happen. I don't know whether Eric was on the beer, but I never heard him singing before. I'll head off now and call it a day. Will I shut up? In both senses. There we go. Shock on his face when I told him I was a heretic.